classrooms I sit in every day, I see my friends, some of them male and some of them female. But one common thread runs through all of us, our ambition. Our ambition leads us in different directions, with some seeking to pursue sports, others seeking to pursue medicine. Now me, when I imagine my future, I see myself in academia, conducting research, making discoveries, and sharing with the world. But whenever I imagine my future, I become terrified that I will be silenced and discredited like the woman that came before me. These women changed lives and they deserve to be heard, not spoken over. Have you heard the name Rosalind Franklin? If you haven't, then you probably heard the names James Watson and Francis Crick instead. If you haven't heard those names either, perhaps just pay a little more attention in biology. Watson and Crick discovered the structure of DNA in 1953, a truly tremendous discovery, but one that could not have come without the work of Rosalind Franklin, work that was shared without her direct permission. We cannot discredit Watson and Crick, but we can confront just how easy it was for us to push Franklin to the back. She's remembered now, but not in her own life. Her story teaches us that history is what gets recorded. Genius of woman, we too often choose not to record it. For example, decades earlier in physics, Lise Meitner co-discovered nuclear fission, the process that powers both bombs and reactors. Her collaborator, Otto Hahn, received the Nobel Prize alone in 1944. The research paper omitted her name, despite the fact that it was her theoretical explanation that made nuclear fission understood. She was later nicknamed the German Marie Curie, a title meant as praise, but in reality it only underscored how often women are turned into comparisons rather than credited as creators. Comparisons like these group women in a way that ignores all distinctions and takes away from the unique circumstances that makes each of these women incredible. And it would be comforting to say that none of these women has been compared to today. But it's simply not true. Women continue to be discredited. In a 2022 study in Nature, it was found that women are consistently undercredited in collaborative projects. In mixed-gender research teams, they are not named first author, unlike their male counterparts, regardless of research roles being equivalent. Another study, using over 5,000 articles, found that studies conducted by women were cited less than those conducted by men. In some cases, half as frequently, even within the same journals. In academia, citation is currency. It determines funding, hiring, and recognition. So whenever women's works are cited less or cited without their names, their careers suffer. Even in research, women face a different kind of bias. They teach the same content, but studies show that they are consistently rated lower by students. It is not a difference in teaching quality, it's perception. And all of this leads to what researchers call the leaky pipeline. Women enter academia in high numbers, but they are disproportionately filtered out before they can reach senior ranks. According to data compiled by the American Association of University Professors, only 1/3 of full professorships are held by women, and they remain similarly underrepresented in top leadership roles. This results in a hierarchy that continues to echo the voices of tradition, a tradition that far too often undervalues women. Nonetheless, change is not impossible. These patterns are being named, studied, and challenged, often by the very women who are sidelined by them. Universities, journals, and scientific societies have begun to recognize that this is not an impossible reality, but an institutional problem that can only be fixed with concrete reforms rather than vague commitments or aspirational statements. Some institutions are requiring contributional statements for research papers, forcing teams to document who organized the study, who designed it, who ran the experiments, and who wrote the manuscripts, rather than summing it all up into a simple author's list. Bias still exists, but it makes it harder to leave out a collaborator or simply sum up a woman's contribution to assistance when her work was in fact integral. Citation campaigns are being used to ensure that people examine their bibliographies, ask whose work is missing, and deliberately include women's work when it is relevant. Conferences, too, are making changes by adopting gender balance policies for speakers and panels. Because this all-male lineup that we see far too often, it's not an accident. It's the result of tired habits. These measures may seem small in isolation, but when we look at them combined, we see how they chip away at this institutional problem that keeps women in the footnotes and moves them to the title page. This initiative can be seen in Jocelyn Bell Burnell. After a lifetime of seeing her discoveries attributed to others, she won a major international prize, and she donated all of the funds to scholarships for women and underrepresented students in physics. She left behind a legacy that shows us that she didn't focus on her personal injustice. She instead focused on uplifting others, something that women can do if they are just given the chance to be recognized and speak out. That gesture embodies what rewriting this history truly means for us. It turns silence and exclusion into support that can be used to enable speakers all around the world. Let us rewrite history. Let us stop rewriting it in a way that leaves out women, as if it is natural or inevitable. Let us build a world where we can uplift women in academia. Let us uplift these women so that we can uplift others. Thank you.